In this video, you're gonna learn the top 5 tips for getting started using Pinterest in your business. But before you start thinking, oh my God, here's just another thing to learn, keep watching to find out why Pinterest is actually gonna help drive more people to the content you're already creating, and it's gonna be a strategy you're gonna wanna implement. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Kate Emiley. I'm a brand and content strategist that helps small business owners just like you build their brands online. But in this video today, I've actually got a Pinterest expert on to talk all about Pinterest for business. So Amy from Juicy Creative Co. is so passionate about the platform, and she shares her insights into why Pinterest is going to actually help you drive more people to your business, to your website, to your products, to your content that you're creating, and why it's such a great place to start. And it's really not that complicated. So let's get into it. Hi Amy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi Kate, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Great. So Amy, you are an absolute Pinterest guru. You help small business owners build their brand online with Pinterest, which is awesome. But I'd love you to just tell me a bit about your story and how you got into, being the Pinterest guru.
Okay. So in 2010, when Pinterest first came out, I was working in events. And then I started using it for life. And then I had a baby and I started running mum workshops. And I also had a blog that I was using to promote the workshops. And I was like a data nerd. And I noticed it was coming from Pinterest, but I wasn't putting anything up on Pinterest because I didn't even know that was a thing you could do to promote blogs. So I started looking up and I found Melissa Griffin. I started doing webinars and learning how to use Pinterest to grow my blog. And I was like, this is great. But then I stopped doing that business because it was beauty stuff and I couldn't run it myself and I don't really care that much about beauty. I was like, what can I do? So I was going to start managing people's Pinterest for them, right? Because I was like, yeah, it's such a good website traffic driver. I was like, what if I ran events and taught people how to use Pinterest but took all of the distractions away, because I spend so much time learning about it and trying new things and, do you know what I mean, having a play with it. And I was like, what if, instead of managing people's, I just got to teach them.
Yeah, I love that so much. But let's get one thing straight. Is Pinterest a social media platform?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked that. No, it's not. And this is something that I scream from the rooftops every single day. It's a search engine. It's a visual discovery platform, not social media.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, there's the same sort of misunderstanding around YouTube as well. There is a social element to YouTube with comments, but it's not the same as social media. It is a search engine, but it's an awesome business tool, but just a different business tool to social media.
And they work really well together because you can use Pinterest to drive traffic to your YouTube.
Exactly, which is what we've chatted about before, and that's how we sort of connected, which is awesome. So why do you think businesses need to use Pinterest? What do you think is the biggest driver for businesses to get on the platform?
Honestly, it's the fact that you can post today and still get traffic to your website from today's post in 8 months' time. Average, that's your average that's kind of like your minimum, right? Because we're time poor and it takes so much to come up with all this new fresh content, and on the social media you're doing it daily, whereas if you're doing it from a blog, let's say, or on your website and using Pinterest to put it up there, it's going to keep driving it because people are going on there because they're searching for something they want an answer to, because it's a search engine, not social media. They're not accidentally stumbling across it. So in 8 months' time, when they're still searching for I don't know, anything like how do I use Pinterest for my business? If they're searching that in 8 months' time, they're still going to find my blog and my website because I've done one on that, but I don't have to keep posting about it every day to drive traffic. So from that point of view, I think it's kind of crazy not to be on there.
Yeah, cool. So like you said, it's a search engine, but what is the real difference between using Pinterest and optimizing for Pinterest versus trying to focus on SEO or search engine optimization to get found in Google?
They actually work together. So your Pinterest boards will come up in the top of Google searches, like given that you're using the right keywords, which are super easy to discover because Pinterest actually, like, you can just search it. You don't even have to guess. You can see what people are actually looking for. So they go hand in hand. It's not even one versus the other. In fact, Pinterest is probably easier in the sense that by creating the right boards, you're going to come up higher in Google searches, even in a very noisy industry or space anyway. So I've had SEO experts in my workshops that were like, actually, you're right. And I was like, should I be saying this? But yeah, it's true. Like, it's absolutely going to help you.
Yeah, awesome. Because obviously especially if you don't have a big social media platform, you don't have a lot of followers, or you don't have a big email list, then you're wanting to drive people to your website from a search engine because that's how you're going to get found, right? So what sort of pins perform best then on Pinterest to get people through to your website, not just to get saved?
Okay, it's like obviously beautiful, inspirational pictures. So I always recommend that people go and get professional pictures taken, not just like headshots, but ones that really invite people in and are so appealing they can't help but click on it to see what else, what information's attached. How-to articles, like how to do something, because people are going on there because they want a problem solved, and what solves it better than a how-to article? Like, do you know what I mean? Or a video. I say article for a blog, but or a video. You could do like your lead magnets that you talk about, these like fantastic opt-ins that are going to grow your email list. Like, they do really, really well, especially for service-based businesses. Plus you get to grow your email list, like no brainer. Like favorite or top, like I always use the example because this one stayed in my head forever, like the 5 podcasts to get you out of bed in the morning. Like, that for me was I'm a morning person, but I still struggle a bit to be like, jump up and start the day with high energy. So I was like, yes. So just listing things like that, anything that adds value or inspires people into action, because Pinterest is where they go to plan their dream, their ideal version of themselves. But not only that, they go on it because they want to action it. And by having articles like that, it makes it easy for them. They can click through to your site and go and get into action and turn it into a reality instead of just a one-day thing.
Yeah, cool. I love that advice so much. It's very similar to YouTube as well. A lot of the tutorial-based videos are what people are actually searching for. And also if you've got like more of that list sort of thing, like top 10 or top 5 or whatever it is, they perform really well. So yeah, I think the two platforms marry really well together. But I'd love to know from your experience, especially with clients or even people in your workshops, what are the things that businesses are doing wrong when it comes to Pinterest?
They're not thinking from their customer's point of view. They're basically like, oh, hey, I heard you want a coffee mug. I make them. Here you go. You're welcome. Instead of talking about how their life is going to look with this coffee mug in it. And you don't even need to talk about it. You can show them with pictures. Do you know what I mean? Like having lifestyle shoots or inspiring them, like showing them what your product's going to look like in their life, how it's going to impact their day, like the difference it's going to make. So you need to get into their world. What would they be searching for to find this? And writing from there. And also trying to carry their brand personality and be funny and witty and clever on Pinterest, not the place for it. Save it, keep that on your website. Keep it just searchable and easy and simple, and then you'll get found.
Yeah, I love that. I think a lot of people with every platform, even if they're on multiple social media platforms or anything like that, they try and just copy and repurpose content across all the platforms, and it just doesn't work like that.
It really doesn't. And because you can link your Instagram to automatically upload onto Pinterest, but I'm like, no, like you can, but you've got to change it because you're on a social media platform, you're socializing. Like, here you're a search engine. It's not going to work in your favor.
So what would you say if someone wanted to post a image from their Instagram to Pinterest, how would they change do you call it a caption in there or a description? What would they change that to? Yeah.
You'd go in an editor, and again, just think about what what exactly you're sending them to. So the picture might not be relevant to the content, which I don't think is a good idea to do on Pinterest anyway, because you've got this really cool visual discovery tool where it's like this little in the bottom right hand corner, where if there's an image, you can click on it and all the other images that look like that will come up. But if you've got like a beautiful image of a coffee cup, but actually you're talking about a beauty routine, like it gets really confusing. So only do it if it's, I don't think you should be doing that on Instagram anyway, but lots of people do. Like, it's just to keep it relevant and talk more about what they're going to find when they click through to your. So talk about, because some people have got some really amazing content on there that they haven't repurposed into a blog yet. I say yet because you should be. And it's just, you can still drive it, but you just got to think about what they're searching for and just reel them in without writing the whole thing, because you want them to click through, right? You want to give them a reason to click through.
Yeah, cool. So Pinterest is obviously such a visual tool, and like you said, you need to have really good quality photos and they need to look really appealing and that sort of thing. But obviously businesses that are in that sort of food or design or interiors or that really visual sort of space, they have a lot of content. But what about businesses that aren't in that space? What sort of content can they be putting on Pinterest?
You can do like the text overlay. So you can use stock images and you can just have like Canva have amazing templates. Like you literally just need to go in and edit it to work for your brand. Stuff like that, like with the text overlay. So the picture's kind of in the background, but you've got the text overlay that's just short, sharp and to the point to reel them in. Because again, they're searching, all your keywords underneath will link back into that. So that's really going to disrupt what they're looking at and grab their attention, and they're far more likely to click through. Infographics, however, are not a good idea ever, because whilst they might get more views than anything else, then no one's going to click through. There's zero incentive. You've just given them all the information. So with stuff like that, just touch on one little thing and then reel them in so they click through, because infographics is going to have zero conversion. And the whole name of the game on Pinterest is to get them to click through to your website or to sign up to your email list, because that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, cool. I think that's a really, really important thing to make clear is it's based on conversions and getting people to take that next step. Whereas, a platform like Instagram, for example, isn't about conversions as much as businesses are trying to get people to their link in their bio. It often doesn't work. It's actually quite rare unless you've got something really, really exciting to give them, or you have, shop functionalities or whatever, that sort of thing. That makes it really easy. But for businesses just starting out with Pinterest, what would you say are the first 5 things or the best 5 things that they could do to sort of get started?
The first one would be to set it up as a business account. It's actually part of like the terms and conditions of using Pinterest. And if you're growing a business, you do set it up. Plus, it gives you access to amazing analytics and data. The second one would be to always think about what people are searching, but have a look. Don't guess. Have a look and see what words they're using and how they're looking for things. And it tells you, like it literally comes up in the order of what they're searching for. Be consistent. Show up daily. Always get your content up first. Even if it's just an Instagram post, it'll do for now. The beautiful thing about Pinterest is you can't mess up Pinterest. Even if you go and do everything, the opposite to everything that I said, you can't get it wrong. What I teach is how to get it through to your website so you can convert it. But it's a safe space. Have fun. Play with it.
Cool. So obviously Pinterest is awesome and you are so passionate about it. But there's so many other things business owners are doing. They've got all the balls in the air. Why should they be focusing on Pinterest? Like, what is the one thing it's going to do for them? Or what do you think should be the decision maker for them to start investing their time and energy into it?
I think looking at it for what it is as a search engine, and the fact that I really think it should be the number one thing, in the sense that the content you create for the platform, whether it be video or a written blog, feeds and can be you've got a video on repurposing, don't you? Just creating content for Pinterest, you can repurpose it to everything else and it rolls off, right? So it's kind of like a one-stop shop in the sense that you can invest more time and energy into this one thing that will keep feeding all the other platforms and continually drive traffic to your website. Or you can continue to come up with new, fresh content daily for Instagram and Facebook that only really has a shelf life of 24 hours.
Yeah. Cool. I love that, because I think most businesses are spending all their time and energy into creating regular Instagram or Facebook content, and it's just not getting the results. So maybe even just stepping back a little bit on those and stepping up on Pinterest, at least to see the results come in. And then once you get the results, then you can move in more, and do more with Pinterest.
Yeah. So like it just, to me, it makes so much more sense to get in front of them while they're searching for what you have the answer to, rather than hoping that they're looking at it in the right mind space where maybe they want what you're putting out there.
Yes, I love that point so much, because you're so right. On Instagram, people are just going through that scroll. Maybe they're bored, maybe they're waiting for their train. It's that sort of filler. It's not a time where they're actually going, oh, I want to learn something. Whereas, Pinterest or YouTube or blogs or anything like that, those pillar pieces of content, which I did create a video on about pillar content, it's going to be working much better in their favor to get people actually through to their site and learn more about them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know about you, but quite a few people I've spoken to have the same thing. Like social media, on Instagram, I don't need to talk a lot about Pinterest. Really, I only need to do a post a day, a story here and there, because what performs better than anything? A post of me drinking beer at the beach. And then they're actually what gets me profile clicks and people go through to my website more than posts of me talking about Pinterest. Whereas when you're on Pinterest, you can talk about your business. It's a lot more focused, just your business. Do you know what I mean? And it's coming up in people's searches because they're looking for it. So then you can actually not have to focus that much energy on creating all this free, valuable content on Instagram. People don't care. They care a little bit, but you're coming up in front of them at random times. You don't know where their headspace is during that moment. Whereas on Pinterest, they're searching for it. Like, that's where you want your stuff.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much, Amy, for coming on and sharing your tips around Pinterest. You know so much about the space, and I think it's really something that a lot of businesses would find super valuable. But where can people find out more about you?
I have a new website, so you can find me over there at www.juicycreativeco.com.au. Or I am, as much as I'm like, Instagram, I love a chat on Instagram. So I'm always on my stories over there. And I also, on my IGTV channel, have loads of free tips to get you started on Pinterest.
Awesome. So good. I'll be diving into those tips as well. I have come to one of your workshops and it was awesome. I'm really excited to get started on Pinterest and start driving some traffic to my YouTube channel. So how awesome is Amy? She's got this incredible energy that just makes you go, yes, where do I sign up, right? So I did her workshop on Pinterest for business and it was awesome. I'm now going to start using it to help get more people to these videos like this one. It's not just about getting people to a blog article or to your products. So I'm going to be using it in that way. So I'll let you know how I go in future videos. But that's it from me for today. If you're interested in watching more Girl Boss interviews like this one, go and watch those ones now. But if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe because I release new videos every single Tuesday. So that's it for me for today, but until next time, bye for now.